Hello everybody, it's me Billy of Speedforce Productions and welcome to the Sonic 06 Project 06 Fan Remaster. For those that don't know, this is a fan game where they remastered Sonic 06 to be the game that people would have wanted it to be back in 2006. Now of course there are people that do enjoy the game as it is in its original release, which of course, totally fine by me. But this fan game is just golden. This fan game takes everything from the original game and makes it a lot better in my opinion. Now, for my original opinion on Sonic 06, it's kind of hard to say because Sonic 06 is a game you might like or not like in this day and age, but I think I need a proper full-on replay of the entire game to know where I think now, because it's all over the place. Anyways, so for those that don't know, this remaster was made entirely on Unity, which was not the engine that was made with this game back in 2006, which I believe was the Havoc engine, the one that's been currently used in gameplay for Sonic games. So yeah. But yeah, this fan game, it takes everything that's from this game and improves it to be all the stuff that was scrapped from the original release. Oh yeah, I died here. I just bring that up for no reason. Yeah, this bit is kind of finicky. See, right there. I would have got this perfect if I did it as the game probably should have. Now, as you can tell, this video is not 60 FPS like you've probably seen other YouTubers covering this fan game. And that's because, A, I didn't check the settings on Streamlabs OBS when I recorded, and B, some of the PC settings weren't great for this PC, which was actually my work PC, which is a better PC than the one I have, because okay, so this is a non-live commentary again, and it's quite clear as to why I did it, because again, this is a work PC, and I work with other people. I do not want them to, hear me commentating and going what is he talking about? I mean, I'm sure they'd probably be fine with it, but, I feel kind of embarrassed. Anyways, so, yeah, so I played this at work, and I did it during my lunch break. And yeah, the settings, despite the fact that my PC at work is better than the PC that I'm using right now to record this non-live commentary, for some reason the settings just weren't good enough to be the highest. So unfortunately, when you see this video and even the Shadow the Hedgehog one that I'm gonna do tomorrow, you unfortunately won't get to see it in the highest quality. I mean, you do, but not at 60 frames per second, which is what I was hoping. In order for me to play at 60, I would need to lower the settings. I remember the last demo, I wanted to play it, I really did, but I remember I couldn't because my PC could just not handle it and it would crash after a little bit. And that's unfortunate, because I even had it at the lowest settings where, in terms of the graphics, it looks like how it would on the 360 and PS3, but unfortunately, even at the lowest settings on everything, the game still crashed on my PC, so I believe this new demo would probably have done the same. I can probably check later on, but right now, I just played it at work, and that's how we're going to be doing this. And we're going to be spending a lot of time together because this video is over 50 minutes long. We have a lot of stages here, and I just want to do it as one whole video just for the heck of it. And I like to give you guys the best content just for you. And of course, as you can tell, we have finished Wave Ocean, and just playing this new version, it was just honestly really fun. And since I played Sonic Colors Ultimate recently, it did so much. And I'm gonna be doing a video comparing this and Sonic Colors Ultimate in terms of which remaster is the better one to go for, and everything else. Oh yeah, I was meant to press the shield then, but like I messed up. As I was saying, yes. So after I've done the Shadow Hedgehog video, I'm gonna be working on a comparison video between this remaster and Sonic Colors Ultimate, as like I said, to which remaster is better off getting. I mean, it's kind of unfair to compare an official remaster to an unofficial remaster, but when it comes to Sonic, it's justified. Oh, anyways, so there's like a lot of differences to this one. Like obviously, when you see Sonic doing the homing attack, he has different animations, which you would only see if you used a white gem in the original game. Or if you looked at, like, say, the E3 build of the game, which is kind of interesting how they had it for the white gem, but you don't get it when you're, like, doing the regular homing attack in the original game. And I think it's quite cool that they went out of their way to do so much for this fan game, or fan remaster, to make it the Sonic 06 I believe Sonic Team probably would have wanted it to be. Now, of course, I don't speak for Sonic Team. I don't know what they think of this fan game. I don't know what certain people at Sega probably think of this fan game. But it's out. People love it. Even the people who like Sonic 06 to begin with love this like remaster, and they're proud of what it's turned into today. And I think that's really good. I really like that fans have taken upon themselves to make something and make it be what an original game was supposed to be. It's like we're potentially getting a fan remaster slash port of Sonic Unleashed for PCs, which is also being done on Unity from my understanding. And I'm honestly really excited for that because I want to play Sonic Unleashed on PC. I really do. The closest I have is the Project Unleashed Modern Generations, but it still feels missing because like we don't have every single thing that was in like Sonic Unleashed. So like the Werehog, the Hub Worlds, the Sun and Moon medals, Eggman Land. I mean, Eggman Land is in Generations like as a mod, but it's not the same as the one from Unleashed where you can switch from Day Sonic to Werehog. That's something I really hope to see whenever we get around to seeing more on the PC Unleashed thing. I think they're probably going to start like finishing more on that by the time this 06 one is done, because I believe some of the people who were even working on the Unleashed one were people who worked on this 06 one. So if that's the case, then if they're going to go to doing Unleashed, I think they should probably like hold off for like until 06 is completely finished, and maybe take a break for like a year or two, and then get at doing like Unleashed. That's what I think. That's what I really think. Anyways, one of the things I really liked about this was the better snowboard physics, because in 06 they were kind of stiff and a bit clunky. But here, it feels natural. It feels like this was polished. Again, this is the Sonic 06 I would have liked to have seen. Of course, the only thing you couldn't probably really change is the storyline. The storyline would have had to have been the same, because I don't see them changing the story if they actually are going to put the story stuff in it. I mean, given the dialogue pieces that's actually in this, which was not in the original game, I think they're definitely going to be putting the story in this. So like all the pre-rendered cutscenes and all of the other stuff now we get to see. So with that said, like, the story is definitely going to be the weakest point regardless to me, because like I did not like the story to Sonic 06. Like, I think the characters, some of them were good at some points, like even Shadow and Silver got some good moments, but the overall story from a writing standpoint is just a mess, because the time travel inconsistencies and all of that. But I don't know which game is written better, this or Sonic Forces, because Sonic Forces has a lot of writing issues too. But that's just me. Like, the main issue I have with Sonic Forces' writing is like the humor and how it lacks a tone, and of course the inconsistencies to Sonic as a whole. Like, the entire plot is always inconsistent, especially with the Japanese translation too. Because, like, there was a whole thing like Sonic is gone, Tails has lost it, and they're even saying like Sonic got tortured for 6 months. When the next time we see him, he's perfectly fine. There's nothing to show that he was hurt or anything. It looked like he was just there for like a couple of days and nothing really happened. He was just bored out of his mind. I don't know if that's what they consider torturing him, but to me that's not torturing a character. Torturing a character is like beating them up, making them do things that they don't want to do, and just something you would probably expect like in a prison. That's what I think torturing a character is. But in Sonic Forces, like I said, he's just sitting there, no bruises, no cuts, nothing. He's just there, doing the same cocky attitude, which you would think, for him being away for 6 months, prisoned, you would think that they would just change his attitude a bit. But no, they don't. It's the same, like, character, which I think if fans wrote the story, they probably would have gotten Sonic correct. Probably even Ian Flynn, because Ian Flynn, I think he's a really good writer for the Sonic series. Like, the work that he did for the IDW comics, and a little bit of what I've seen from the Archie comics, because I didn't really follow the Archie comics very much. But the IDW stuff, I mean, I kind of stopped after the Zombot stuff, but Ian was still part of that, and my god, the guy actually really understands Sonic, and I would love it if he were to write a game. Part of me thinks he's writing the 2022 game, but I'm not getting my hopes up on that. If it is him, then great. That means we have a really good story for the first time in, like, since Sonic and the Black Knight. But if not, then here's hoping whoever it is that is writing it, hopefully not Pontek and Graf, that the story is really good. Even if it is Pontek and Graf, I hope they've learned and actually know the characters better to actually make a good story. Because, like, sometimes even the people who you think do, like, really bad stuff can turn out to do some really good things. Because there's some people who really despise, say, like, Sony Pictures Animation, for instance, for movies like Open Season or Hotel Transylvania, or even a more recent example, the Emoji Movie, which I absolutely despise that movie, but I'm not going to get into it. And yeah, there was like a whole thing where people were like saying Sony Pictures Animation is one of the worst animation studios, but of course not everyone agrees to that. Some people will even say like Illuminations or Blue Sky, all of those. But in this case, we're talking about Sony, but then say when Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out, that changed everything. Everyone is calling them like the biggest redemption arc of all time in terms of animation, which I don't know many redemption arcs, but I definitely know that Sony is one of the big examples, because from the Emoji Movie to Spider-Verse, oh, it was really big, a really big redemption. For anyone curious, I am excited for the sequel, but I'm not going to get my hopes up on it because I've noticed a pattern when it comes to animated movies done by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. When they direct it and all of that, and when they're like heavily involved with it, we get something really amazing. So like the Lego Movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, again, Spider-Verse, and even most recent, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which even though they didn't direct it, they were still heavily involved with that movie, and I absolutely love it. But then the sequels, so Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, Lego Movie 2, they weren't as heavily involved. They kind of like supervised, I guess, executive produce. I don't know what they really did, but I definitely know they did something, but they weren't heavily involved. and it caused the sequels to be lackluster, or bad, or just not as good as the first. Because, like, Lego Movie 2, I thought it was a decent film, but the first movie was by far the better film. Of course, I didn't hate the Lego Movie 2, it's just, it's not the one I would go back to, really. I would rather watch the Lego Ninjago movie over Lego Movie 2, because Lego Ninjago, while it's not great either, I still had fun with it. And of course, again, I had fun with Lego Movie 2. Anyways, yeah, so in regards to Spider-Verse 2, I am excited, but I'm going to be cautious about it, because, again, Christopher Miller and Phil Lord, they're not really involved with Spider-Verse 2. I think they're just executive producers for this one. So, for the people that are involved, I hope they can do some good stuff, because I believe the person who wrote the sequel is the person who wrote the recent MCU film Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and even did last year's Wonder Woman 1984. And I like both movies. I like Shang-Chi a lot, and Wonder Woman 1984 I think is a pretty fun film. Like, I really liked it. Like, despite the controversies surrounding it, and you could really say that me liking Wonder Woman 1984 was a hot take. I don't expect anyone to care, because reasons. I mean, barely anyone ever comments on my videos anyways, so I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, so yeah, with Spider-Verse 2, we got some people, and I've looked into the history of some of the people who actually are heavily involved, and from what I can tell, their track records are from decent to pretty good. So there's probably some faith in it, but I don't expect it to be better than the first movie. I really don't. If it does, then it surprised me. If not, then hopefully it's still good. That's what I hope. Anyways, so yeah, so we're in Crisis City. This is the one I wanted to play the most, because Crisis City is probably like considered one of the least favorites in terms of Sonic stages in 06 when playing as Sonic. But here, it did a whole 180. It did so much to be so good. Like, I was fine with the original version of Crisis City. Like, of course, the main thing I didn't like was the Mach Speed section, which we're in right now. But what the changes that they did here are so good. And when I've seen people actually play this version, I've noticed they've always failed with the whole fire thing right there behind them. Because in the original, it was just there for effect. But here, it actually gives you a risk that you need to be quick with this, otherwise you're gonna get caught in it and die. Here, like, I've seen other people fail constantly at it, just because it was new to them and they didn't know what to do. And of course now, because since it was in last year's demo, it can definitely be said that now they know what to do. But here, because it was my first time, I got it right on my first go, which was right here. This was my first go, and I got it right. To be fair, it's probably because I've seen YouTubers doing it, but even then, I think other YouTubers have probably seen other YouTubers do it, but they still failed. That's probably still a thing. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. But I can definitely say, me doing it on my first go and not failing it, aside from like losing a couple of rings here and there, that was honestly a surprise. I was really happy with myself then. I may have not gotten an S rank, but hey, I at least did Crisis City Mach Speed on my first go without failing, unlike when I first played 06 for the first time, where I would fail the Mach Speed for that constantly. But at least nowadays I'm better at it. Anyways, we're in Flame Core. Now, I mentioned that the PC specs on the PC I was using wasn't so great on other stages, but for some reason Flame Core seemed to have been an exception, where when I was playing it, it was playing at a full 60 frames. Only a couple of frame drops a couple of times, but like most of the stage was 60 frames, which honestly surprised me quite a lot because I was, again, not expecting it. You would think that Flame Core would have been the same, but for some reason, something about Flame Core just made it like, nah, let's let him play at 60. Now, I wish I was playing in 60 frames with this whole video, but again, I didn't check the recording settings and the PC specs, like the video settings in this remaster to do anything about it. So I apologize in advance, and the same will be said for the Shadow video, because I pretty much kept it the same just because consistency. I like consistency and all that. Oh yeah, that's something I really like. So in the original game, you couldn't bounce on enemies just being in a regular ball. You had to be doing the homing attack, or whatever actions that a character can do in order to take down enemies. But here, you can now bounce on the enemies, which, that's something I've missed doing in Sonic games. Like, sure, I can do it in the 16-bit games and Mania and all of that, but like, in terms of the 3D ones, I just use the homing attack so much that I never really think about just bouncing on the enemies. It's kind of like strange at points, but like I think Sonic 06 was the one that you would feel like you would want to be like bouncing the most on enemies instead of just using the homing attack. But in the original game, that wasn't a thing. But seeing it in this remaster just brings in so much light. Like, this is probably, even if this is unofficial, I still think that this is probably the best like Sonic remaster like ever made. Like, better than the Christian Whitehead's Sonic 1, 2, and CD. Better than Colors Ultimate. Better than Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. So better than Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Now, SADX and SA2 Battle is kind of a touchy subject in terms of a remaster. But, how else would you class it? I mean, a port, that's another one. But, in terms of all the differences between those and their original Dreamcast versions, how could you not class it as, like, a remaster at points? Honestly. Now, in terms of official Sonic remasters, I'd say the Christian Whitehead Sonic 1, 2, and CD are the best Sonic remasters. I would like to say a new remaster on a new game is the best, but of course we have to like stick with what we have, and of course Christian Whitehead did an amazing job with Sonic 1, 2, and CD. I wish we got his Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but it's okay. We have Sonic 3 Air for that. That's probably the closest we'll have, because I'm curious as to how Sonic Origins is gonna go. Especially after the reception of Sonic Colors Ultimate, I have no clue what's going to happen. Hopefully the 16-bit games in Sonic Origins are gonna go better. I believe they'll probably go better than the 3D games do, because the 3D games, I can say they kind of have bad luck in terms of getting a good reception from fans. Like, sometimes even the critics, because like SADX would get lower and lower scores as each new release of SADX would come out. And it's probably just because of the age of it, or they just think that the game just wasn't good. But for me, regardless of if I'm playing Dreamcast or even the SADX versions or better SADX, Sonic Adventure overall, I still think is a pretty fun game. But I can definitely notice the flaws that the game has, and it's because of age and all of that stuff. But sometimes I can just look past that. I can look at past things like this to just appreciate what it was as a product of its time. That's something I can really get behind. Like, say, like I have like a lot of issues with, like, say, Mario 64, and that game usually never gets the same treatment as, say, Sonic Adventure does. And honestly, it's kind of unfair. I really think it's unfair at points. It's because some people probably just have like a bias against like Mario and Sonic and Nintendo as a whole, really. Sometimes Nintendo does do some bad things, and sometimes people do acknowledge it. But there are some instances where people have said like, oh no, Nintendo did really good on this, when in reality they didn't. I don't know. I feel like Sonic needs a better chance to really shine. Especially since like reviewers will constantly keep using the same quote, Sonic had a rough transition to 3D, which sometimes we don't even know what they exactly mean by that. They could probably be meaning how he went from the Sega Saturn to officially debuting on the Dreamcast, but others think it was because of Sonic 06 and Shadow the Hedgehog, and even Sonic Unleashed. But at the same time, like, we don't know what the reason was. People are probably just saying it just to spark a reaction, which, I'll be honest, I think most of the time that is the case. But at the same time, that's probably what they genuinely think, because they probably just didn't like the 3D games to begin with until a certain game was made. So, like, say a game like Sonic. Like, say a person didn't like Sonic Adventure, but they like Sonic Colors, and they'll be like, oh, it's the first good Sonic game since the Mega Drive era, and honestly, at points it feels kind of depressing. Just hearing that. Because, like, obviously, I've said this multiple times before, opinions can go either way with somebody. Someone might like the same thing as you, some people won't like the same thing as you. The thing I think people sometimes forget is how to deliver your response as to what you think of something. Because some people will go like, they'll say what they think, and then someone else will say something different, and then they'll probably have like a mutual understanding as to why they like it or don't like it, and they'll just go by their day about it. That's the way I would prefer it. But then there are people who go like, no, my opinion is the right one, you're wrong. Because, like, I remember conversations as to someone saying their opinion on something, and I was going like, well, surely somebody likes it. And they were like, oh yeah, they do, and they're wrong. And I'm like, bruh. I'm just like, bruh. Because we live in a day and age where if you don't accept somebody's opinion, you'd be kind of considered a bad person. And calling someone wrong could also be in that category. I'm not saying it is, but given how things have been on social media in this day and age, it is quite apparent. Now, of course, it was probably just because they were young or something else. I'm not saying that they were always. It's probably just because they were young. Because everyone's always different when they're young. Like, something that you probably did as a young person, you probably wouldn't do in this day and age. So, like, a comment you made, or just a thing that you did as a kid, or a teenager, or even a young adult. Everybody has a different way of developing into who they will be later in life. Now, of course, that doesn't excuse the people who do, like, really bad stuff, because, like, if you did something really bad, you're gonna be held accountable for that. I realize I'm talking about like a lot of things that aren't even Sonic related in this, but like, sometimes I don't even know what to talk about with Sonic, even though he is the main focus of this video. Let's talk about some of the improvements in this game. So, as you can tell right now, something that wasn't even in the original game, which I think this is a really good feature that I think a lot of Sonic games should have, but they lack, is weather options. The weather is usually the same type in the games. It's always bright and sunny, dark, nighttime, or say it's like a sunrise or a sunset. It's never rainy, it's never snowy, unless you went to a certain location. So like the ice caps, that's snowy, but you don't really see like the snow effects. So say if they were to like remake Sonic Adventure, I would hope that they add in some like weather effects into the stages or even into the hub worlds. So like if we go into the ice cap in Sonic Adventure, we actually see like snow dropping. That would be so nice. It would just make the stage look even better. Now visually, Sonic Adventure, I think the Dreamcast version is the best version to look at, but if we were to get like a full-on HD remake, like say the Crash Insane Trilogy or the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, or even any other remakes that we have gotten in the past decade of just for Sonic Adventure and even Sonic Adventure 2, maybe even Sonic Heroes, if we got something in that similar scale, I think Sonic Adventure could be the most beautiful looking Sonic game ever. If they just updated the make HD graphics and make the game look as visually amazing as it can be with the Hedgehog Engine 2, which is what I'm hoping for with Sonic 2022, I think we can probably go a long way to say that we're living in an era with the best looking Sonic games. Because right now, I still think Sonic Unleashed is the best looking Sonic game in terms of its visuals, and I really like that. I want to see other Sonic games, like future Sonic games, looking better than Unleashed from a graphical standpoint. Because obviously there are some games that have done things better than Unleashed has. So like the improvements of the boost in Generations, I think they could have like use that, have the visuals of Unleashed, and make a Sonic game that just feels like it's going all out to be the greatest Sonic game of all time. Which, or even say like it was going to be the finale of a Sonic series. Which Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Unleashed feel like that was the case. But they weren't, because we got more games after that. And if they were, then we could say that they ended on a really good high note. I just wish the reception of Sonic Unleashed was handled a lot better, which I think some people were just biased to the classic games, which most of the classic games, like from the 90s, weren't amazing. Like, sure, they were fun and everything, but the overall thing about Sonic in the 3D games is that some of the 3D games I kind of find more enjoyment out of than the 16-bit games. But that's just me. That's just me with all this. Oh yeah, so we're in the exclusive Wave Ocean Tales stage, which I think it's really cool that they added a Tails level, because I'll be honest, I miss playing as other Sonic characters in the Sonic series. I think a lot of people have said this, so sometimes I even question like why do I even repeat some of the things I've said when others have probably said it and probably said it better than me. But sometimes it's good to hear that other people also think the exact same thing, so that way you don't feel alone. Because sometimes I've said an opinion, and sometimes I probably don't know anyone that will agree with me on it. But at times, I just wish that someone also agreed with me, like I wasn't alone. And of course, I've gotten that instance, like whether it's on movies, or superheroes, or other video games, or even a TV show. As long as I have somebody that can agree with me, like sometimes they won't agree on every single thing, but as long as they do agree with me on something, something is just better than nothing, in my opinion. So if we were to, what was I talking about? I've forgotten what we were talking about to where I was going with this. I had a point. Oh yeah, I remember what I was talking about now. So, yeah, I think it's really cool that we can like play as other Sonic characters in the previous games, and I just wish that we could just play as the previous characters again in an entirely new light. So play it in an entirely brand new game. Oh yeah, this is really cool. I really like the additional like animated moments that they put into the beginning of some of these stages. So like the one that was in Crisis City, the one that was just there in Kingdom Valley. I really like the minor little details. Like it's just really good that fans have taken the time out of their days to make something this grand and everything. You don't really find talent like this all the time. I mean, sure, there is loads of talent out there, but like with this much dedication, it's honestly amazing. I wonder how they're still going with all of this. Like, what keeps them going to like deliver, making this amazing product? It's probably because they don't have a release date on it, or they just have so many people involved that there's always work to be done. Oh yeah, I still kind of mess up in this, even though I've played Sonic 06 a bunch of times to the point where like I don't know why I would probably be like messing up if I played it so much. We'll be seeing more of that when we get to Shadow, because I'll be honest, I'm not great with Shadow in Sonic 06 because I played Sonic more than Shadow, so that's where the struggle comes in. But anyways, Kingdom Valley. This is my favorite stage in Sonic 06. Like, mainly just with Sonic. I don't really say much about Silvers and Shadows. Oh yeah, here's Silver. It was so good to play Silver like this. He's so much faster, and he's just a really fun character to play as. I mean, I enjoyed playing as him in the original game, but here, this is just so nice. He feels like the character that he should be. And honestly, I would love it if Silver got his own game. I really do. But yeah, back to Kingdom Valley. Yeah, so Kingdom Valley with Sonic, I really like it. I really do. It's one of my favorite Sonic stages of all time. Like, not the favorite stage, but it's up there. Because Kingdom Valley, it was the main thing that was actually promoted for Sonic 06. You would see this stage in demos, you would see it have probably the most polish out of any of the other stages in this game. And to see it with like all this new updated stuff to being the best it can be, I'm just proud of the people behind Project 06. They did so much, and I hope that whatever they do after they finish this, I wish them luck on it. In fact, that's actually how it's been lately with some other Sonic fan projects. Like, I remember Sonic Stop Motion Adventures, I was sad that it was ending, but I think the ending that they gave was really satisfying. Piddleup Fan 77, you did like a really good job if you're watching this. I doubt it, but you can never be too sure. A more recent example, Sonic and Tails R by Emmy Jones. That series is really good. A radio drama series, I would probably never expect Sonic to be a radio drama series in the slightest, but Emmy just like knocked it right out of the park to make something just really good. I really like Sonic and Tails R. I loved hearing Ryan Drummond as Sonic again. I loved hearing Jason Griffith as Shadow. Mike Pollock, I think this was his best portrayal of the character as Eggman. Emmy as Tails was really good. I think she's really good as Tails. Like, if they were to bring her on as Tails in the games, or just have any kind of involvement with Emmy in the games, that would be so cool. Whether it's a song, whether it's her being part of the writing team, just anything that she can be involved with in terms of a new Sonic game. I would just love it a lot. I really would. But anyways, Sonic and Tails R, I really love the series. I love the story, I love all the Sonic Adventure references, I loved just everything about it. It's a 10 out of 10 series for me. It's definitely in one of my top 5 favorite Sonic fan-made projects. It's just a really good series, and it brings back the memories of when I first played Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure back when I was a kid, just new to Sonic as a whole. Just like all of the stuff that was in it just amazes me. It really does. Like, Emmy has like an amazing like mind to how much she knows about Sonic and delivering it to being the Sonic that she remembers and the one that loads of other people remember. Because when it came to the current stuff that we get from like Sonic, having something like Sonic and Tails R was a nice change of pace to being something that at times it's kind of depressing that Sonic fans can make something better than the official Sega and Sonic team or anyone else that's taking part in Sonic. But it's also really good to see that fans care so much to bring back the Sonic that we all knew and loved. Now, some people could consider that being sad and everything, but for me, I couldn't care. It was the Sonic I knew, and it was just happy to see him brought back to me. I'm sad that Sonic and Tails R ended, but the way it ended, it was the right way to do it. And I wouldn't change anything about Sonic and Tails R. It was a really good series. If you haven't listened to it yet, I highly recommend it. I'm going to leave a link in the description to Sonic and Tails R so you can listen to the entire thing. Because Emmy has said on Twitter that she will post a full version with all the episodes all together in one video. And if you haven't listened to it, this will be your chance. I honestly recommend it. The song that she did with Tony Harnell, The Fly With Me, it was so good hearing him do a new Sonic song. I would love it if he also did something official, but I'm not bummed at the fact that he was only doing Sonic and Tails R, because like, Sonic and Tails R, it does feel like something that would be official, because sometimes I actually wish that Sonic and Tails R was an actual game. I actually do. I think maybe someone out there could like pitch it to Emmy and get like her approval or something. And if we could actually do get like a fan game, or if Sega were to like pitch for a new Sonic game but with the story of Sonic and Tails R, I would be excited like a lot. And of course Sonic and Tails R still lives on for like all the fan-made stuff that was made for it. And of course Emmy is also working on a comic series which talks about all the stuff that happens in between Sonic and Tails R, between all the other characters that appeared in the radio drama series. So we'll get to see stuff on Amy, we'll get to see stuff on Knuckles, Shadow, Silver, all those characters. And that's going to be really exciting for me, because I've always wanted to see like kind of like the separate stories that you would go through in like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 and even 06 and Heroes. So it's really nice to see that we're getting something that brings back like a lot of the memories and things that we used to miss in Sonic games before everything changed after 06 and Unleashed and all of that. Which is something that I really hope I can bring to Return of Chaos when that gets made. Because the script is really good. We wanted to aim for a script that was like something that came out from the Adventure for Kids era of the series. Because that's my most fond memories, and just the Sonic that I knew and always appreciated. Sure, there are people who love the current stuff that we're getting, and of course, they're entitled to think that. But when it comes to what I want something to be like how it used to be. And of course, sometimes we can't always get what we want, and sometimes in life we just have to accept that. Like say, because I'm a big person for animation, and I would always prefer it if something was done in animation, but at times I know why they went with the opposite route, because either it makes the most money, I'm talking about live action here, or it's just something that I just think sometimes it probably just worked better to be in live action at times. Like, sometimes you probably just couldn't picture it in an animated state, but other times you can probably picture it and it would probably be looking better, but we never know until like somebody out there has done it. And honestly, I just go with the flow sometimes. And if I preferred it in animation, I'll say it would have been better if it was animated. If not, then hey, sometimes maybe we can have both versions. That's how I like to look at this. That's how I like to look at anything. It's because I'm like, I even want to like get around to doing the animated version of the Sonic movie, because I announced that a while back, and I haven't really made much progress on it, which I do intend to do, but I want to focus on other projects for the time being. So yeah, the Sonic movie remake has kind of like gone like two different ways. Like, some people will love it, some people will hate it, some people will just think it's in the middle. Actually, now to say it, it's probably actually three ways, now that I'm saying this. But hey, what can you do? Anyways, so yeah, we have nearly finished with this. If you can hear something in the background like a dog, I apologize, that's my next door neighbors. I am really sorry. I don't know if my microphone's actually picking that up. If it is, I really do apologize. I did not intend for that, but for some reason it's just, they're just like that. I can't really do anything about it. Anyways, so yeah, look how much I've been talking. I think I've done better thinking of what to talk about now. And I'm also trying to like be more energetic about it. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but if you notice from like previous commentaries, I wasn't as really energetic, but I think me speaking like this right now, I think I did a much better job. And hopefully, let's see how that goes. If you like it, then I'll keep doing it. If not, then what the heck? I'm getting like a bunch of random things on my phone right now. I'll have to look at that after I'm done recording here. But yeah, back to Project 06, since this is the thing that we're supposed to be talking about. Yeah, so we're in Aquatic Base, the final level in terms of all the Sonic ones. Just so you all know, we are not covering any of the bosses, because the bosses are not available yet. I believe probably like next demo, I think we're getting Silver, so I'm definitely going to do a video on Silver, because I would really like to play the Silver stages in this new direction that they went with to Remaster 06. I'm actually really excited to play Silver when he's done. So I don't know if they're going to do the full demo with all the stages, or they're just going to do like a number of stages. I mean, given that this is the first demo to have Shadow stages playable, and they're all the stages, it's probably going to be, we're going to get all the Silver stages in one go. And I'm going to be really excited to play those. I really am. Now, as for the other stages, no, not the other stage, the other stuff in the game, I'm hoping missions will be much better. Like, they'll probably be the same missions as before, if we are getting the missions from the hub worlds. Because there's been a thing going about saying that we're not going to get the hub worlds in this, which I think there should be a hub world. I really do. Like, maybe there should be an option in the menu to be like, oh, do you want to do a stage for stage, or do you want to do it like hub worlds? I think if they did that, that would probably be a good balance for those that prefer stage to stage, or those that just want to explore the hub worlds in this new format. Because I want to explore the hub world in this new format, because the only issue that I really had with the hub worlds was Like, I was just so slow. I couldn't go fast, which is a thing that you're supposed to do with Sonic. You're supposed to be running really fast with Sonic. But 06, the original version, lacked that. Especially with Silver, because like if you go into the hub world where it's like that big field, he's really slow, so you're going to be in there for like quite a bit. And why is it like that? It should be like all the characters should be fast. Like probably Sonic being the fastest, since, you know, fastest thing alive and everything. But at the same time, it'd just be nice for it to just to have the option for the hub world. Anyone can play it however they want, and if they want to play it like with the hub worlds or just stage to stage, I think the dev team on this remaster should have the option. If not, then we'll just see how the responses go. Some people say it's because of Unity, but I personally don't believe that, because I think Unity has had hub worlds before, so I don't think Unity, it should be the excuse. Huh. Anyways, we're actually pretty much approaching the end of the Sonic stages. We're nearly at the end. Oh my goodness, I'm getting a call on my phone. This is not intended for the commentary, but like, I guess it was just bad timing. Anyways, so yeah, we're pretty much near the end of this, so we've only got like a couple more minutes and then we're just done. But I might as well just do my outro now, because I don't put anything else at the end. It's just gonna end with the stage ending. So yeah, I'm thanking you all for joining me on this video, and I hope you all stick around for tomorrow, where I'm going to be covering the Shadow the Hedgehog stages, which that's going to be really exciting. So yeah, I thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below what you think of the Sonic 06 remaster from the fans, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, support me on Patreon, follow me on all my social media links, which will all be linked in the description below, and I'll see you all in my next video. Until then, take care, bye bye.